Judge Merrick Garland is now Joe Biden's nominee to be Attorney General. He will have his confirmation hearing next week. He will undoubtedly be confirmed as the nation's next Attorney General. It's kind of one of those things that you wouldn't wish on your best friend, though, right? I mean, you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. I mean, just think about it. What's the tour like on day one? What's the tour like of the smoking hulk of what used to be the U.S. Justice Department on day one for him? Welcome, Mr. Attorney General. We're so happy to have you. This over here, this is the office of the head of the criminal division at the Justice Department. That's the guy who received a criminal referral related to President Trump's call to Ukraine, where he demanded that that country needed to provide dirt on Joe Biden for use in the election, or else they wouldn't get their military aid. That's the office, head of the criminal division, Brian Benczkowski. That's where they quietly buried that criminal referral of President Trump and said nothing about it and hoped it would go away. That's also the office where the head of the criminal division, Mr. Benczkowski, hosted meetings with himself and a bunch of lawyers from the fraud division and Rudy Giuliani, while Rudy Giuliani was simultaneously under federal criminal investigation for alleged crimes related to fraud charges brought in federal court in New York against his associates. Nevertheless, meeting with the head of the criminal division and the lawyers from the fraud unit. Because why not? He's just under federal investigation for fraud stuff. Call that the Al Capone Memorial Tax Shelter Conference Room now, Mr. Attorney General. Over here, Mr. Attorney General, that's the office of your number two, the Deputy Attorney General. Quite recently in that office, Jeffrey Rosen quashed the search warrant for Rudy Giuliani, the president's lawyer. He also monkey-wrenched the sentencing of Roger Stone for the president, and he brought that crazy ginned-up case against John Bolton for writing a book critical of the president. And he also made some calls to make sure President Trump's campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, would never have to go to Rikers Island like a normal prisoner while he was facing state charges in New York. That's the office of the Deputy Attorney General. That's what we've been using that office for recently. Also, I'd like to show you the office of the head of the Civil Division at the Justice Department. That was the guy who Trump tried to get to take over the whole Justice Department after the election, because the head of the Civil Division is the guy who said if Trump put him in as acting Attorney General, he'd call the state of Georgia and tell them to announce that their election results were null and void and Trump actually won. And President Trump said, OK, yes, then I'll put you in as the new acting Attorney General of the United States. And it was only when all of the other top leadership at even that Justice Department said they would resign in protest that that plan was aborted at the last second. That's how they use the head of the Civil Division, the head of the Criminal Division, and the head of, and the Deputy Attorney General's office under Donald J. Trump. Those offices are still there, with like the same desks and the same chairs. So settle in, Mr. Attorney General. This is the esteemed temple of the rule of law left for you to run. Don't mind the smell. Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.